Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Jamie Dean and welcome to another episode of Collecting Retro, a series here on Sidescrollin where we basically show you what we've picked up to add to our collections on any given week. If we come across something interesting, we want to share it. That's what this is all about. This week I've come across a game that I want to add to my shelf that is an absolute titan of the RTS genre, one that I've been searching for. I already have half of it on the shelf, and now I have what I feel like is the other half, and now the complete game, and that is Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne. So launching in 2003, I believe, from Blizzard Entertainment, Frozen Throne is the expansion, obviously, to the immensely successful and popular Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. Again, a complete behemoth when you are talking about real-time strategy games, right? The early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, that sort of time frame was just... it was like rich in RTS games. If you were an RTS lover like I was, that was sort of the era, the golden age of RTS. A genre that has very sadly gone the way of the dodo these days, it very much seems. I don't really know why, but man, that time period was a really good time to be an RTS fan because they were everywhere and they were good quality titles. Warcraft 3 being another one of those. Now, Warcraft 3, and I said this when I did the Reign of Chaos pickup on another video, was not a game that I had a lot of exposure to back in the day. Despite being RTS mad and despite playing a lot of RTS games, Warcraft was just never one I think that my dad really got on with, and because of that we never really had it in the household, so I just didn't get to play it a whole lot. Now I did eventually come around to playing Reign of Chaos and played through the campaign, of which I enjoyed, but it never sort of, I don't know, there was something about the pacing, I think. Like, while the narrative was really, really great, an amazing story, something that we hadn't really seen in an RTS up until that point, this actually told like a rich, deep narrative. The instant action, well, I used to call it, like the skirmish games, where you would basically just pick some sides, jump into a map and play. That in Warcraft and StarCraft comparatively was incredibly fast-paced by comparison to things like Age of Empires or Command & Conquer, games that I loved and was used to. Warcraft certainly cranked up the pacing on that. It felt very much like a race, and that kind of, I don't know, it never really sung to me that high-paced gameplay where it's just sort of like build, go, go. However, I did get a lot of exposure to Warcraft through Frozen Throne, not via the campaign, although I did play a little bit of the campaign of Frozen Throne. Wasn't a huge fan of the campaign of the expansion, to be honest, not as much as I was of the original Reign of Chaos, but via the modding community and everything that came out of the fan-created content in the aftermath of Frozen Throne. That's sort of where I really delved into this game for a good long while. So we're going to have a little bit of a talk about that, but right now I'm going to drop this down to the bottom cam down here. We'll have a look through this box. We'll rediscover it together and explore it. I have not looked in this box for a very, very long time. Until this showed up on my doorstep. I think this is probably the first time I've seen this box in 20 years, really. Now, I tell a little bit of a white lie. I have cracked this open already briefly just to tape over the CD key. It was blotted out when I bought this, so I'm assuming it hasn't either. Well, I guess it doesn't matter whether it's been used or not, but I've blacked that out, so we can't actually, you're not going to get a face full of my Frozen Throne CD key. I'm sorry. But we'll have a look at everything else. It's a pretty slim offering in terms of like box contents for Frozen Throne. So you can see the iconic cover there with Arthas, and the I don't know if it'll show up the textured logo, as is sort of synonymous with all Blizzard boxes. We've got the side here, and if you fold out the cover, we can make the complete face just about. And then we've got the back. The expansion set to the Game of the Year. everything liked to claim it was the game of the year back then, didn't it? Like, it didn't matter really what game it was. If it had any kind of remote popularity, the publisher was like, game of the year on the box. Make sure you get it on the box. Although it wouldn't surprise me that, Warcraft 3 really did get, game of the year in a lot of publications. The Burning Legion has been banished from the battle-scarred fields of Azeroth, but peace is still a distant dream. Now the war rages on with more units, more missions, and more explosive strategic combat. And there we can see the lovely, chunky Blizzard Warcraft art style in 3 dimensions. Oh, we've got enlist mercenary heroes. What's that say? Hire any of 5 unique heroes to charm enemy units, conjure tornadoes, siphon mana, summon deadly beasts, and more, all for the glory of gold. We can wield new weapons of war. Call in deadly troll bat riders. Troll bat riders. That sounds fucking badass right there. That's metal as hell. That's like some meatloaf shit. Cunning spellbreakers, lumbering mountain giants, and more as you devise devastating new strategies of warfare and destruction. You can master 26 new missions and dominate the internet. That's funny. Resume your merciless internet war with enhanced BattleNet features, including clan support and automated tournaments. And you can also call the Vivendi Games technical support line for help if needed. Let's have a look at this lovely bifold box. I love these Blizzard folding boxes. I've said that many, many times. Look at that. We've got a snowy valley there, showing off some of the new stuff in the expansion. We can see that you can raise from bloated corpses on the field of battle. The skeletal mage hurls unholy bolts at all those who oppose the scourge. We've got the Crypt Lord here. What have we got here? The Blood Mage, or the back, the cape of a Blood Mage. Soaring from the sky, Dragon Hawks provide support while enshrouding enemy fortifications in dense clouds of mist. There they are there. And Spellbreakers. And then if we fold this out again, we can see the greatest battle is yet to come, and you will not be alone. I can't even fit it all on the camera. Look at that. So then we get a look at a base over here. We can have a look at some of the new units here. The Blood Mage, the Shadow Hunter, the Warden. Such a fucking cool design, the Warden. And the Crypt Lord. Yeah, just magic, these boxes. I love these big fold-out boxes. Again, it's one of those things, like game manuals, that are just unfortunately largely a thing of the past these days. I do miss the old Blizzard boxes quite a bit. Used to go into the game shop and just open them up and stare at them. I always thought they were lovely. Alright, let's have a look what is on the inside here. And like I said, it's a fairly slim offering compared to what we got in. Here it is. Chuck that back there for a moment. Alright, so all we get is we get a disc in a jewel case with a manual, just a little, not a big, like Warcraft 3 came with like this huge, thick, chunky manual. A much slimmer offering here on Frozen Throne. It's just a CD case size manual that's in here that we'll have a look at in a moment. And we also have the Blizzard Entertainment product catalog, which came with pretty much everything that Blizzard made. We'll have a quick flip through that in a moment, just for nostalgia's sake. I'll put that out of the way. All right. So we'll crack this open. So yeah, Frozen Throne. It was not a game. There's the CD. Not a game I got on with terribly well campaign-wise. Like, I played most of my RTS games solo. Very much into RTS. All your Age of Empires, your Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Dark Reign, Age of Mythology was another one. Like, just love them all. Now you can see this this case here is broken, unfortunately. If I zoom in here, you can see the damage, but that's not too bad. I can't remember how much I actually bought this for. I should probably look that up at some point. Let's see if I've got that written here somewhere. I'll try and keep a record of what I get these things for. $10. There you go. $10 this cost me. for Frozen Throne in the box, complete. Here's our little manual. So yeah, not a lot of single player engagement with Frozen Throne for me. Mainly it was in multiplayer with things like Dota, right? And things like, for me, it was the big one was tower defense. Man, the tower defense mod for Frozen Throne, I keep tripping up over that word. Frozen Throne, not Frozen Throne, or Frozen Throne. Yeah, tower defense. Tower defense was fucking so fun, just so addictive. That was like a staple at LANs, and often around the time of Frozen Throne's release and in the aftermath of Frozen Throne's release, that was like the go-to game for our LAN parties and LAN hangouts. Just playing tower defense. We just for hours play tower defense. We just keep chipping away at one until we cracked it. Now, unfortunately for everybody else that I was playing with, I was often the weak link in tower defense. I was the one that would just let all the mobs through because my tower defense game was absolutely rubbish. But they were very patient with me, very gracious, and we keep trying until eventually we managed to crack these things. And I don't know, there was just something super addictive about playing tower defense. So most of my memories around Frozen Throne here were from playing tower defense at LANs, and just, you know, in our house, in my share house where I lived at the time with my buddy Gary and Sam from the channel. We play a lot of tower defense, and it was just a shitload of fun. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I wanted to get Frozen Throne on the shelf. I've already got Reign of Chaos. Again, played through the campaign, enjoyed it. Multiplayer in that one wasn't my cup of tea. The game itself was, you know, it was fine. You know, I liked it well enough, but you know, it's such an iconic story. It's such an iconic piece of Blizzard history that I really wanted to get a copy of it. But Frozen Throne, I wanted on the shelf for those memories of tower defense and Dota and all those other mods that came out that everybody loves so much and played so much. Let's have a quick flip through this and see what we got here. We got our contents. We've got our installation instructions, technical support. We had a chronicle there telling you exactly what's going on. And we can see our new Orc hero, the Shadow Hunter, has Healing Wave, Hex, Serpent Ward, and Big Bad Voodoo. We've got the Troll Bat Rider. Fuck yeah. This is the Orc units. A Spirit Walker. New Voodoo Lounge for the Orcs. Lots of Orc stuff. Troll Berserkers. Reinforced Defenses. The Blood Mage for the Human Hero. Spellbreaker, Dragonhawk Rider. So all elf stuff. And we've got some upgrades there. Barrage, flat cannons. The Crypt Lord for the undead. Another iconic unit. You know, that insectoid sort of scaraby kind of look to him. The Destroyer, Obsidian Statue. Got some new undead upgrades. Night Elves. We've got the Warden. Again, another iconic hero. Iconic design. The Mountain Giant. Fairy Dragon. A Wellspring for the upgrades. Mark of the Claw. Mark of the Talon. And some neutral buildings there. Other features. All races now have a backpack upgrade that allows certain non-hero units to carry items. Got some neutral heroes, the Naga Sea Witch, the Pandaren Brewmaster makes his appearance. Was this his first appearance in the game? Was that Frozen Throne? I feel like it might be. Correct me if I'm wrong. Beastmaster. That's old, fuck, I can't remember his name now. God, I'm kicking myself. You know the one. You know him. The Dark Ranger, the Pit Lord, and all the credits here. Whole shit ton of people. So yeah, just basically showing you, not going over the game again, just showing you the new additions to the game itself. Put that back away in there. And we'll have a quick look at the good old product catalog. What was the going... Oh, jeez. That didn't age well, did it? No, first page. StarCraft Ghost. Oh dear. Oh dear. Coming soon to PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Oof. World of Warcraft. So for this to be getting advertised in this, so this must be a copy of Frozen Throne from after 2004 in that case. Good old WoW. Original WoW. OG WoW. Good times. There it is, the Warcraft Battle Chest. I used to love looking at this in the shop too. All those Blizzard Battle Chests. There they are. Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and Frozen Throne. And like, even though they're not my favorite RTS games, like, you gotta respect them, right? You've gotta respect them. I do like them, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want them on the shelf if I didn't like them. I do like them quite a bit, but, you know, fair credit where credit's due, you know? Like, they certainly had a lot of influence over a genre, and did some things that we hadn't really seen ever before in an RTS game. The Diablo Battle Chest, or Diablo 2 Battle Chest. Oh no, there's a copy of Diablo in there, by the looks of it, possibly. Yes. StarCraft Battle Chest. Look at all this shit. Do you remember seeing these in like EB Games on sale for fuck all? Don't you wish you had picked one up? I do. Diablo 2. And the expansion, Lord of Destruction. What else we got in here? Some Warcraft figures. Look at that. I've got one of these sitting on my computer tower right next to me. Not one of these featured right here. I've got Brawl. Good old Brawl Bear Mantle sitting up there. StarCraft action figures. I remember seeing those back in the day. But I was never much of a StarCraft fan. I feel like, you know, like what I was just talking about, the really hyper fast go, 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 build, 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 attack, attack, attack gameplay of Warcraft 3. Well, that was, as we all know, like kind of just cranked up to fucking 11 in StarCraft. And so I never really got on terribly well with StarCraft for that reason. I was definitely more of a slow, ponderous RTS gamer. And StarCraft did not afford you that opportunity at all. The Sunwell Trilogy manga, or manga as I would be corrected by my daughter. Quite rightly as well. Some Blizzard books. I'd love to get this one here. The Art of Warcraft. That's on my list. Look at that, $25 back in the day. Fucking hell. That's on my list to pick one up if I ever come across one. I'd really like to have that. Really, really like to have that. Some novels. I think I've got this one here, actually. Diablo the Black Road. I've never read it. It's on my shelf in there somewhere. I should give it a shot and see what it's like one day. Maybe I could do a video on it. Some merch. Warcraft the board game. And the RPG. Ah, and Z-boards. Remember Z-boards? Fuck me, they were everywhere for a little while there. They like just these cheap, chintzy, fucking nasty plastic pieces of shit, right? That they just felt so budget, and yet they just exploded around this sort of time. Z-boards. There we go, Blizzard Insider. A free subscription! I'm sure that's no longer valid. And that is that. So that is a quick look through World of Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne, a stone cold RTS classic, and I think even a stone cold classic game full stop, right? Like, a lot of what we know and love about World of Warcraft in particular comes from these games here, from Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 2 obviously before it, and Warcraft beyond it. They all laid some foundation there and really sort of dug in and set some groundwork for some lore and characters and things that we all love. But these games here are where things really started to take shape, and, you know, Warcraft as we know it really, I feel, came into being, into what we think of now as Warcraft. Like, this is the roots of that. And so for that reason alone, I think a very, very important couple of games or game and expansion, and one that I'm very, very happy to now have on the shelf finally, because like having Reign of Chaos on the shelf by itself, I felt has been only half of a game, you know, like it doesn't feel like the full thing. And this is one of those times where like you got expansions that came out in the day that sort of eclipsed the base game, where when people talk about Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne is often what they're talking about, right? That happened to a few games, this being, I think, one of the biggest ones to sort of, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Something. Anyway, it was a big fucking deal, okay? Words escape me, but it was a big deal. And Frozen Throne sort of like eclipsed, I feel, its predecessor. And whenever people talk about Warcraft 3, this is the game that they're talking about. It's actually the expansion Frozen Throne, because it was everything you loved about Warcraft 3 and more. So there we go. That will do it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed that little look through at Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne. If you did, I've just knocked my camera over. Make sure you drop down and leave a comment. Did you play Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne, or Reign of Chaos back in the day? I'm sure many of you have. I haven't met many sort of gamers my age that haven't crossed paths with Warcraft 3 at one point or another. So make sure you drop down and leave a comment with some of your really fond memories of the game, or unfond memories for that matter. I'd love to hear about them. I'm sure everybody else would as well. But until next time, thank you so much for hanging out, my friends. My name has been Jamie Dean, and as always, make sure you keep on side-scrolling. Take it easy.